So, welcome back in the part 6 of this madness. So, all of the doors in the back have been finally sounded, and I've actually installed the fascia and the hedging, and I've been playing with the front door speakers. So everything works on the front. So that's cool, at least some sort of life is coming back to this car. So now it is the time to do the door cards. So what have we got? I've come up with a plan that I'm gonna be basically kind of bringing it to here, by here, to there, all the way up here, and all of this is gonna be one mold. Changed my mind from putting the tweeter in there because I'm just trying to keep it all kind of similar to what I have in here. So that's pretty much as even as it's gonna get to this. So I'm kind of still following the lines. Well, on that door card it's been cut off here, but I'm gonna bring it all the way up to the top, and then along there, and then up to here. So it's going to be all this thing. So 6.5 is going to be sitting in here, and I'm going to put a tweeter just above it, and all that is just kind of sloped down in a nice shape and everything. So hopefully my plan works out, and I'll get the end result the way I want it to. So I have prepped the door cards in already, and they're all degreased as much as I possibly could. And we'll basically, what we'll do now is I'm gonna put this all on the time lapse as per usual, and I'm gonna start masking off all these door cards and then drawing a line where I'm gonna be cutting around the fiberglass and stuff. So that's it. Once I've got it all masked off and drawn a line and stuff like that, I'm going to be drilling holes through where I will be using them for an attachment, so that it's going to be all the way around the perimeter, an attachment. And then I'm going to be sinking 10mm bolts onto there. So basically something like that, but obviously not that long. I've got the shorter ones just over there. So that I can, when I take the mold off, the screws are going to be set into place. I might actually put a little bit of a first little coat so there's fiberglass beneath it, and then feed it through, and then put the final layer of fiberglass over the top so it hugs all the nuts nice and tight. So when I take it off and put it back on, I can use the screws to fasten it down. On this one, I've done it all the way around. I've been using, around the perimeter there is like a lip that goes around, and I've got screws going from the inside of there throughout here into the fiberglass. I have had a bit of a problem on some weaker spots that the screws have been popping off. So this time I'm doing it with the bolts. So you literally take it off in one piece and screws are mounted all the way around, and just boom, put it back on, bolt it right where it needs to be, and you're good to go. Just tighten them up and it's mint. So let's start masking all this stuff up and get down the fiberglass, and shall we?
There's too much that's going on, I don't know what to do. Paralyzed by options in this world, can't pick and choose. Yeah, everybody's life is on display, including you. Yeah, I feel every day is just the same, stuck in a loop.
That's the door cards are all masked off. I've marked the holes where I'm going to be drilling now next. So I'm gonna drill all them out, and basically, like I said, I'm gonna put little patches of fiberglass on the spots where the bolts are going. Then we're gonna feed the bolts through, press them in, and basically tighten them probably from underneath. It's basically 9 bolts per side. That's gonna hold this thing literally heavy, hard as hell. They're going nowhere, but that's the final design, what I've got up, what I came up. So 6.5 tweeter. I might actually put a J-Star logo in there on a bit of wood. So I'm gonna look for that. It was actually quite a cool idea, to be fair, to do so. Yeah, I don't have any at the front, but that's not a problem. There's no really room on the front for my J-Star logo, but as you can see, everything's full to the brim. But I suppose I can do in the back, just a little bit of a touch. Why not? How to say, why not? But I'm gonna come up with that when I actually get all these to do the final fiberglassing and stuff like that. So, but yeah, all I can say is that these are all ready. I'm gonna get my fiberglass out. I'm gonna mix some resin and get down to business.
There's too much that's going on, I don't know what to do. Paralyzed by options in this world, can't pick and choose. Yeah, everybody's life is on display, including you. Yeah, I feel every day is just the same, stuck in a loop. I need some variety, I'm sick of this anxiety. I'm sick of this society, they make us feel a rivalry. Compare ourselves to others, but we all got different mothers. We were raised in different structures, so we're different, it's no wonder, yeah. I just want a great life, something where I feel like I just didn't waste time. Something I look back and say that was a great time. Cause man, I just hate when the years pass by the wayside. Yeah, lost inside, and I need a little time to find who I am in this life. I will find a way to feel alive. I'm so lost inside. You better watch out now, I figured something out, what this whole life's about, yeah. It's not the goal, it's the journey, wasted emotion is worry. I'll stop being in a hurry, and I'll just enjoy what I'm doing. Keep pushing forward and moving, appreciate the improvement, yeah. I was so stuck on a goal, was losing sight of my soul. Need to enjoy getting old and be so present. I don't know if there's a heaven, but I know I wanna get in. And sometimes I feel a presence, energy in a direction, so I follow intuition. It took me to a musician, now I'm on a different mission, to help others with afflictions. Now I'm not lost inside, I finally have seemed to find who I am in this life, and I found a way to feel alive. I'm not lost inside.
So that's the first layer of fiberglass and resin has been put down. See what I mean, that the bolts are all sunk in now, and I'll be up. So this is when it dries, it starts to dry out, and this is like becomes like a gel now. So this is all curing right now. You can see through it. So I'm gonna be putting another coat over this, but I want to let this one to dry first. So basically it's end of the day for me today, but this is not the end of the video yet. So we'll be putting a second coat on once these all dry, and then basically once the second coat is dry, then I will be pulling this mold off, shaving all the edges nice and by the lines where you can see the block marks are, and basically then we'll be testing how it fits on with all this, without all this masking tape and everything. So this is the first phase of the door cards being made. Then once the base is all set and done and I'm happy with it, then we'll be making speaker rings, fitting speakers in, making them in a position how they need to go and stuff like that. So it will be, then we'll be stretching cloth over it to get the shape, and basically after the cloth has been stretched, then we'll basically cloth is going to be stretched, then I will be able to cut out all of that around there like that, so I can then fiberglass the top layer that's going to be sitting over the top of here. You will see it in a video later on when I get to that part. I'm just trying to kind of explain how the things are going to be going in here with all this fiberglass and business and that. So, but yeah, basically this is it. I'm gonna wait these to dry, and then we'll slap another coat over the top and be nearly good to go for phase 2. Well, the next day, nice and solid. Lovely jubbly. So now what I need to do is I need to put this back on the time lapse as per usual, and we'll put the second coat on. And once the second coat is dry, that's going to be a later on day because now I've got other things to do in between after this. We'll take this mold off, shave all the excess stuff off, and then we'll be shaping this piece here to the lines how I wanted them to be, and then we'll be setting speaker and the tweeter and the GA style logo place in there. So yeah, he's all going back on a pretty time lapse, and let's get fiberglass in.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad. I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad. Doing no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad.
Yeah.
Baby, I'm bad.
I just wanna stay bad, stay mad. Shit on my shoulder cause they treat me like an outcast. I ain't gonna take that, stay back. I'll be swinging hard till the hits come in all caps. I ain't gonna lay back, pray that someone's gonna help me. Ain't nobody like that. I ain't gonna wait, that's all fact. Give me one shot and I'll never get the throne back. I'm sick of being cautious. I'ma go cause some pain, can't stop this. I'ma steal everybody's lane, call it shoplift. Sick of hearing everyone complain when they thoughtless. Taste the pain, it's like candy canes. It makes me go change into a better frame, into a better name. Society's insane, we all live for fame, yeah. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad. I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad. Do it no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad. Baby, I'm bad. I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up.
Right, then, what did you see just there? That was it. These two door cards are all done. Now, all they have to do is dry out, set, and then we'll be pulling this off, hopefully in one piece, and basically jigging everything around how this should be. Also, like I maybe mentioned before, I did a bit resin in the box. Freaking phone calls. So yeah, resin in the box. I put resin just on sides, and I don't know how it's soaked all this part in and everything, so it just gets a little bit stronger than what this stupid chipboard is. Ah no, I should have rebuilt the front box as well, because the chipboard ain't fucking good, but I've got a brace, I've got it resin now. I might even put a bit of mass on that side. I don't know, maybe it's not, we'll see. But if it falls apart, it falls apart. I'll build a new one. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Fucking the main front baffle is like 2-inch thick, so should hold something decent in the front. But sides, I'm just gonna fiberglass them in and fucking make them nice and strong, and that's it. But that's it for the time being. Now I've got to wait for this prettiness to dry. Obviously, if I would have sun and stuff like that, probably put them outside, they would dry much quicker, but doesn't matter. I've got time, well, not like I have time, but I've got really time to wait, as I've got jobs in between and that sort of stuff, so we'll see what happens. So the next is, we'll be pulling them molds off, like I said, and going from there, but I'm going to shut up. I'll explain to you when I get to it, and you will see it yourself. So, bye-bye for 5. Right then, so that's all the fiberglass things have been set. This is all set. This is all needs to come off. So I did pull the second one off already. Unfortunately, I did snap one of the bolts off just because of how as you can see just right there, that's where it used to be. That one came out, but the rest of them are absolutely good. I just cut them down to size, and it just due to all this to pull this all out. I should have actually put it probably further away. But that's not a problem. If it will work, if it will go back in with the same thing, I'm just going to re-fiberglass it back on, and that's it really. Now, basically, I'm going to put this on the time lapse. We'll pull that one off as well. Pull that one off, and then we'll cut everything alongside all this excess material that I don't need. Kind of rough shape it to here and as well, and cut all this unwanted, unneeded stuff off, and then I'm gonna get the decent base for my speakers, for the rings to go on, and then we'll be stretching things over and whatnot, whatever. But first of all, time lapse time, get these off, shave them to the size, and then we'll go from there.
I ain't gonna take that, stay back. I'll be swinging hard till the hits come in all caps. I ain't gonna lay back, pray that someone's gonna help me. Ain't nobody like that. I ain't gonna wait, that's all fact. Give me one shot and I'll never get the throne back. I'm sick of being cautious. I'ma go cause something, can't stop this. I'ma steal everybody's lane, call it shoplift. Sick of hearing everyone complain when they thoughtless. Taste the pain, it's like candy canes. It makes me go change into a better frame, into a better name. Society's insane, we all live for fame, yeah. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, do it no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad. I got cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up.
Only God wants you better.
I'm bad. I just wanna get caught up in this life, I'm crazy, I'm mad. Do it no cap, only got one, so you better go live it up. Cash in the bag, city impact, baby I'm bad, baby I'm bad.
And that's the door cards. I wish we were done, but that's the base is all sorted. So that's what they look like. They look pretty damn even, apart from, like, let's say that side there is a little bit different to there, and then I need to shave that off a bit and make it even more even, same as in the middle a little bit there off the edge. But that's not a problem. That's gonna be done later date when I've got the speakers and the tweeters and the logo installed in already. So that is gonna be later date sort of install, whatnot. Not install, sorry, the last shavings when everything is already in. So basically my idea did work out pretty damn good. These just pop off like so. And come on, one-handed is a bit iffy to pull them out, but there you go. That's one off, and that's how the inside looks like. And it's quite easy, just stick that in first, push it in, and then just push down on these all, and it all goes nice and flat. This side, this is the one that I snapped out the screw. It still sits perfectly spot on, so I don't have to, I'm not going to be doing anything. If what, in the worst case scenario, I'm just gonna screw it down with a screw from the inside, like what I've done on there. But anyways, I've got 8 all the way around, and then 1 screw, and then all 9 bolts are perfectly on the other side. So lovely, that's all I want to see. And that's it then. Basically this video is ending, part 6 is done. So I've gotten so far in this part, make the shells for my new speakers. In the next part, what we'll be doing is in the part 7 now, so keep an eye out for that one. That one's going to be now in quite a while, I think so, because I've got new month coming up. I've got to get the money in, get all the jobs in, and get it all done. But basically, this is it for the part 6, I believe so. So I'm gonna wrap this all up, put these all to a side for the time being. I'm gonna get tweeters, get speakers, and the next part will be cutting rings out and cutting rings for tweeters, 6.5, and basically installing all the crap, and then we'll be finishing off these lovely door cards, and we'll be fitting them, winding them in, and enjoying the show. But that's it for now. Basically, I'll catch us in the next part, whichever number it is.